What is up, riders? Cody from Motorcycle MD giving you guys another video on a quick maintenance tip of something that drives me absolutely nuts. It's my #1 pet peeve, and that is the notched brake lever, front brake lever to be exact. Okay, if you've ever experienced it, once I tell you, it's probably going to drive you nuts. If your bike's doing it now, you've probably just gotten used to it over the time. A lot of people do. When you come into a hard stop or a slow stop, you pull the brake lever in and goes, you're braking, all of a sudden it'll just give a little bit because it hits that metal on metal and kind of squeaks, and all of a sudden it's a heavy front brake pull. Not safe. You can wash your bike out like that. Front end, boom, dropped before you even blink. We're gonna solve that. It's super easy. You don't have to go to a shop to do it. You can do it in your own garage. It takes 10mm wrench, flathead screwdriver, and some grease, maybe even some steel wool. That would be really helpful. Remember to hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel. Great stuff comes out all the time. I also have a free gift for any subscriber to the email mailing list. So we are back on another VT750-07, but you can apply this technique to any hydraulic brake system on Hondas. I don't care if it's clutch or front brake. The clutch hydraulic systems have a little brass bushing. That'll be a different video. But same thing, all right, when it comes to the front brake lever. It's super easy to take off. 10mm wrench. There's a nut on the bottom. There should be. You want to go lefty-loosey. Take the nut off the bottom. Little acorn nut. Flathead screw. Pivot screw up top. Okay, you can access it from right here. If these cables are in your way, really easy, okay? These little screws right here, these little adjusters, not really adjusters. Hello?
Hey, baby.
You are interrupting a video right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I have to start all over again.
Do you really?
No, I'm just kidding. So if these throttle cables are in the way of that pivot bolt, these little lock nuts can be loosened to allow it to move. This one's already loose. I need to tighten that one up. But I can move it, as well as this bottom one. Just get a nice pair of pliers. Make sure you're grabbing onto the lock nut itself, not the casing. And just give it a slight turn, and it should loosen itself up if it has not rusted itself down. But that makes it easy to get to. So, flathead screwdriver. Just go ahead and unscrew this pivot bolt, if I can get a good grip on it. Sometimes these things are so bad that you really have to put a lot of downward pressure on it. It's probably best to soak it with some PB Blaster or something like that, because they will rust themselves in and almost weld themselves. Or you may notice that on some bikes, when you pull the clutch lever in, if it's like a cable operated system like this, the bolt will spin with the lever. Good luck getting that thing out. That's a lack of maintenance. That's the definition right there. Okay, we'll pull this pivot pin out right here. This is a problem child. As you can see, it gets some dried up grease on it, some dirt, grime, and this lever should come right out. Okay, so this in here is where the pivot goes. Allows the brake lever to pivot on it. You want to clean that out. That's brass. But this is the main issue for that notched brake lever. As you can see, it's just metal right there. There was some grease on there before. Obviously, it's pushed its way down from the friction, and now it's just dried up and hard. As well as this arm pivots and hits that plunger, which allows your brake system to work. So that needs to be cleaned up as well. All right, so what I'm going to do is take some steel wool, and we're just going to get rid of all this crud. It's on top of this arm. You can use a paper towel, brake contact cleaner, but we want to polish this up and get all this dried crustiness off. Okay, this flat part right here is for your brake switch, your front brake switch. You can see it hits that and makes it work. That kind of information is free, you know. just to make the job easier for me, I have these little brass pipe cleaners. They come in all different sizes. I got them from Harbor Freight. I think they were like maybe $2. And they work great. Make sure that when you use these, you're always going in one direction. So if I'm spinning it in, I'm always going to spin clockwise, not counterclockwise, because why? That would unscrew this metal that's wound up, and then they'll all fall out again. So another quick tip, that's free. Okay, that's nice and polished up. Brand new lever, look at that. All right, cool. Now, same thing with the pivot bolt that we looked at earlier. Get all this grime off of it, especially underneath this shelf here. I'm gonna clean up this as well. This is where it kind of rides it on. And remember what I said, clean that right there, some steel wool. And just kind of get that grime off of that plunger. Perfect. Now we apply grease and go back together. I mean, it's super simple, man, but stuff like this, not only does it make the bike safer, but it just makes it so much more pleasant to ride. So I'm going to use waterproof grease, go inside of this brass bushing here. I'm going to put a thin layer right around here, not overdone, just a small thin layer. And then apply a gloppin. That should be good. And just a little bit right on that pad surface, because most of it's all right there already. So if you want, you can put a little bit on here, thin layer. I mean, it's already going to get coated once it goes inside of the brake lever. You know what? I wish I would have shown you guys how this thing was before. It was bad. Just trust me, it was bad. Let's go ahead and install the pivot bolt. And you just got to move this lever around. You might need to kind of push it inwards, and the pivot will just drop down. And it'll be in. Use the flathead screwdriver. Alright, once that seats, just going to do a little quarter turn on it, snug it up. Acorn nut goes on the bottom, righty-tighty. Grab your 10mm wrench, flathead screwdriver on top so it does not move, and just give it a nice stiff little turn. Doesn't need much. And that, again, I wish I would have showed you guys before, but when I would grab the brake lever, it would brake, also it would go notch, 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 all the way in. And it even made a noise, an audible noise. But now, it is really smooth. I can apply as much force as I want. That is not restricted. That's what we're trying to fix. And it's all due to that pad that that arm rests on. But while we're there, we go ahead and clean up and lube up everything because we do it professionally. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight as we diagnose that brake lever notching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, like it, subscribe, grab your free gift on your way out. Make sure you get your free troubleshooting cheat sheet that I made for you. The biggest thank you that I could get from you guys is if you would just share the content. I'm trying to get Motorcycle MD out to the world, and if you guys have a favorite forum or a Facebook page or a friend who may need this, that's the biggest thank you that I can get from you guys, is just sharing it. I'm trying to really reach a lot of different people on different platforms, and that would be super helpful. This is Cody from Motorcycle MD, giving you guys quality tips and tricks for your next build or your daily rider. See you guys next time.